Okay, so I'm going to tell you a story of a disciple who went in search of a new church. Um, Obviously, that disciple's me. It's my story. Uh, I went down the Bible Belt. Well, I took 2 months off work, first of all. I took 2 months off work. This was like a planned adventure with my boy. So I went down the Bible Belt, and like we were in Kansas for a little bit, and Kansas was like super cool, so it was easy to hang there. The churches were awesome, and then you know, we stopped other places. We were in Texas for a few nights, but I didn't go to any churches there. Uh, there's just too much energy there for me. I don't know, a lot of different energies. So then I go up to Arizona and uh, knock on the door of Mark Driscoll Ministries and Trinity Lutheran Church, and that's when things got murky for me. Um, these guys, this Mark Driscoll's, well, I was gonna call him a gang, but his ministry, made false accusations against me. So anyone who looks at the case can see they clearly stomped on my constitutional rights and my parental rights. So they made these false accusations. So the church got me delivered into the arms of the state, right? And then the state knew these charges weren't going to stick. Like, uh, they were bogus. Like, they could be disproven in 5 seconds. And they just didn't care. I don't know. So then they delivered me to MK Ultra, this place they call Community Bridges, but it's run by a bunch of pimps who call themselves doctors, and they did frequency experiments on me. They mostly kept me sedated the whole time, but uh, I remember enough. Like the last 3 days, they took me off everything because they delivered me to my car, by the way, which is like, since when is that standard protocol to bring you back to your car where you got. Anyways, like, uh, that's not my point. They, these frequency experiments, they planted false timelines in my head. So that left me kind of messed up, not knowing what was real, what was false, what was like, what was what. And so I had to work with the Lord, first of all, to hear His voice only. And some, you got to go through some trials and tribulations sometimes to do that. But then, in order to do that, I had to put that whole experience out of my head for a minute and just like focus on what I can focus. They took my kid. They won't give my kid back to me. Like, they kept like giving me these obtainable goals, I guess you could say, but like the second you obtain the goal, you don't get your kid back. They give you another one you have to do, right? You have to see this psychologist. And then I go see this psychologist that they sent me to, right? Mark Driscoll Ministries. This is his idea of mental health. I go talk to this chick, and I was kind of open to it. I don't have anything against psychology at all, actually. But the representative, the psychologist itself, yeah, it makes a big difference. So this chick asked me what my dreams are. I got her name in my notebook somewhere, but I don't even care. Um, and I was like, well, I really only asked God for one thing at this point. I only had one dream. I said, I asked God, I want to be a mother, and I want to be a good mother. And she laughed at me. So that kind of made me mad. So then I read her like a book, and I was like, why? Because I'm not career driven like you are. That means my dreams are less than yours. And then I'm like looking around, and I'm like, we're in this big penthouse. How did you get this penthouse? And the Holy Spirit's like, she sucked her way here. And I said that out loud because the Holy Spirit doesn't lie to me, and sometimes it's hard to hear or whatever, but I said it, and she just shut up. And it was like that I shut down and she shut up, and that was really the end of the conversation. And she diagnosed me with a temporal delusion, right? And let me tell you, they tried everything in their power to diagnose. If they could have diagnosed me with any mental illness, they would have. And then they also tried to diagnose my son with autism. I had to have 6 doctors from home fight it. Like, this is my patient. Are you kidding me? Like, you guys see him for 10 minutes and you're gonna give him a lifelong diagnosis like that? Like, anything in their power to give either of us some kind of mental diagnosis. Like so, you know, it takes me obviously a while. I still don't have, because after I get the state of Arizona out of my hair, Joseph's family comes for me. Sold me into slavery. Which I'm like this close to getting out of, by the way. But I'm getting off topic. Mark Driscoll Ministries, the state of Arizona, MK Ultra have been found colluding with the whore to lock up the prophets, martyrs, and saints of Jesus Christ. But even more than that, they messed with Mary's free will. When you planted those false timelines, it was to try to veer me in one direction or another. And the source is definitely outside of good and evil, like beyond it. But free will is very much a part of the game. And when you mess with it like that, free will, it's something he gives us. Are you kidding me? You had no right to do that. And what that means for you, I don't know, because I gave this to God a long time ago. And, you know, this is just probably the last and only thing I'll say about it. I don't know, maybe I'll say more, I don't know. But he did give me a song to go with this also. Rob Zombie's Living Dead Girl.